up? What up? Welcome to the Continual Growth podcast, where we help you kill every day and own your fucking life. I'm Bwanka. It's episode 37, and we got a special guest today. He goes by the name of Stephan Dyer. Stephan, how you doing?
Very good, man. Super excited to be on this podcast. My favorite podcast in the world, man. It's the only one I listen to, really. But just the fact that you got me to listen to a podcast and I'm addicted to it. I even got my wife and my sister addicted. Very excited.
That's amazing. Thanks for listening. His sister's here listening, so we're going to make it extra special for her too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let me tell the people a little bit about Stephan, okay? So Stephan, he's a stand-up comedian. He's bringing some jokes today. You're going to make all of us laugh.
We'll see.
I'm putting him on the spot. Okay? So he's international. He does it. He does Spanish. He does English. He's performed in Costa Rica, Peru, Mexico, Miami, Colombia, and of course, Canada. He does other things as well. Him and his business partner, they teach courses. They teach at Second City. And I know you got a comedy show coming up this weekend for the course that you teach.
Yeah, we teach the public speaking through comedy courses, and we got 3 levels. And over the last year and a half since I quit my job, 120 students have gone through our 6-week workshops. And it's just continually growing, man.
Hey. That's amazing to hear. Okay, so whenever I meet a comedian, I think a lot of people do this, but right when you meet a comedian, first thing you say is like, all right, man, make me laugh. Tell me something funny. So, we're going to put you on the spot.
Every person, man. Every person. Well, I don't know any set jokes. All I talk about is about my life. And as I was telling you, comedy comes from truth and pain, so all I do is I talk about my life.
You talk about your life?
And sometimes at the beginning, I say, when I introduce myself, I go, my name is Stephan Dyer, and I am Costa Rican, or as Canadians call us, Mexican. Which is so true. If you're hearing this, you're not supposed to laugh, but if you did, thank you.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about your life today, so I know you're going to be able to get a couple of jokes in there because it's all about you. So you're a person, since the day I met you, I think I met you probably like a little over a year ago, but you've been continually growing throughout your life. And since the day that I met you, you've still been continually growing.
I think I met you 2 or 3 years ago at BBC.
Yeah.
And you were working out. I was always good friends with Carlito over probably 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. And he obviously brought me to the gym. And then I met you. Then I met Z. And I really didn't know anything about you guys. So maybe we said hi a couple times.
Yeah.
But since I started seeing what you guys were doing with Continual Growth, I got immensely inspired. I was always inspired by you guys, but I could never relate, because you guys seemed so dominant at the gym that it was intimidating, you know? But with the Continual Growth, I've really been especially listening to the podcast, because I never knew how much you guys had to work on yourselves to come to this point. And a lot of people, when they hear come to this point, they immediately think money. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about personal development and consistently getting out of your comfort zone to achieve your dreams. And dreams could just be like something very small, like talk to a stranger. Mm-hmm. It could be learning French.
Yep.
It could just be like, for me, my wildest dream probably 5 months ago was learning a little bit about graphic design.
And now I got Photoshop, and I've learned by myself. I've watched YouTube videos, and I never, even just getting Photoshop was a wild dream for me. Mm-hmm. But day by day, this year, I've convinced myself that if you just do 5 minutes a day, you can achieve unreal things. Oh, yeah.
It's good and I'm saying 5 minutes because most of the time you'll do 7 or you do 20 or you do 15. But the goal is just to start.
Yeah, just getting started. And that's like even just downloading Photoshop.
Yeah.
just from that, now you just start building on top of that.
My business partner is a great graphic designer, and he studied industrial design and everything. So he gave it to me. And I was so excited. He's taught me a couple things, and now I'm doing it by myself. And that's my next 21, I think, because I don't do it every day, but I want to do it every day.
More consistent with it. Sick. I think that will help you a lot. Okay, so tell us a little bit about Stephan. Tell us some of your struggles, some of the pain that you've been through, and just the truths.
For sure. So I always consider myself a nomad, an eternal immigrant. So as you said, my parents are from Peru, and I was born in Costa Rica, and immediately I feel I'm Costa Rican, but I was born into an immigrant family.
Yeah. So
automatically they were like, you're not Costa Rican, you're kind of Peruvian. But I was like, I'm Costa Rican. Well, your parents are Peruvian. Then I moved, so I was always an outsider, kind of, you know?
Yeah.
Then I moved to El Salvador. They were like, you're Costa Rican.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Mexico, then Montreal, then Toronto, all because of my dad's job. Mm-hmm. My dad's a drug lord. No, I'm kidding. He's a businessman. So we moved around a lot, and I always, maybe like you, I'm not sure. I've heard of your story, but sometimes even though you're from there, you don't feel like you fit that much. Mm-hmm. That's why I like Toronto so much, because I'm with people that don't fit in, and this is a place to fit in because everyone's from out of town, mostly.
It's so diverse here.
And so I was always a good student. I was always a good son. I never really got in trouble. I had really good grades, and I was really good at sports. Hmm. So
okay, so when did you come to Canada? When did you first come to Canada?
So I moved. I lived in Costa Rica till I was 10. Then I moved to El Salvador till I was like 13, 14.
Yeah.
Then I moved to Mexico until 15 and a half. And at that point, I applied for a scholarship at a boarding school in Quebec, 2 hours away from Montreal.
Okay.
And I got it. It wasn't a full scholarship. It was 25%, but it was significant enough that my parents sent me. It was very expensive, but they sent me, and then I did really well at school and at sports, so my scholarship got extended to the second year, because I wasn't going to come back. I was just going for a year. Mm-hmm. I don't know why in Mexico at that point, everyone in 9th grade or 10th grade was going for a year abroad.
Okay.
It was a thing that they did. And so my scholarship got extended, and I got extended and increased in the third year, my last year of high school, in 2006. 2005, 06. And then I graduated from there, and the next step was university. Mm-hmm. But the U.S. was very expensive, so I applied to U of T. And actually, my dad wanted me to go to the best schools in the U.S.
Yeah.
Because I was always like kind of a superstar, but I never really studied for the SATs.
Yeah.
So I did very bad. I did good in math, but in English and all these things, I didn't do very well. So it's kind of a disappointment, because my dad my whole life was like, Harvard, you know? Yeah. And it was kind of a disappointment when I didn't even make it close to Harvard because of the SAT percentiles. I think I got like 53 in English or something, and I don't even know. And in math, I got percentile 81.
Yeah.
What you're supposed to get like 95 or 96 or something more to go to Harvard.
Okay.
And so basically, I didn't. So going to U of T kind of was like a disappointment, because I didn't know that it was such a well-renowned school. Mm-hmm. So I did U of T, and I did commerce and finance. It was like a double specialist in economics and finance.
Yeah. In
the commerce program. And then I graduated from that in 4 years in 2010. And then immediately, I really didn't have any work opportunities or offers because I didn't know anyone. For me, it was very hard to network.
Yeah.
And I only got one internship because of my boarding school, a contact at CIBC, my third year in university. I got a summer internship.
Okay.
And then that helped me to get another internship when I graduated at Scotiabank because of my Spanish and my previous experience at CIBC. Yep. And then after working hard for 6 to 8 months, I got a manager position that they offered me. I was probably one of the youngest managers in Scotiabank history. And then 3 years after, or 4, in 2014, I got a senior manager position in wealth management at Scotiabank in international private banking.
Moving on up.
Again, one of the youngest senior managers, I think, in the history of the bank. And my family was fucking proud, man. They were always proud of me because I was always a really good kid and good grades, and I've never done any drugs.
Now you're getting more accomplishments.
Exactly. And it's something that I was proud too, you know, but... And my dad was super proud because I worked so hard at everything, and he paid for my education. My parents were all super proud of me. But then it's probably happened to you too, and I know it's happened to Z. Just listening from the podcast, 2014, I did my first stand-up show. And little by little, I had always done Vines on the side, comedy videos, and I always wrote comedy, but I never really thought I could do this for a living. Not even in my wildest dreams, I thought I could do this for a living.
You're just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
My brother is an artist too. He's a musician and a comedian. And so I started doing it on the side. And in 2016, I did my first show that was really good. And that opened my eyes. I'm like, could we? And my business partner, Juan, was always like, dude, we should quit the bank. Because I helped him get a job. He was also a senior manager at Scotia.
Okay.
And he was like, dude, we should quit. And I'm like, are you insane? Like, we're immigrants. We worked so hard. We got a job that every immigrant would want. We're making big money. Are you insane? Like why?
It made no sense to you.
No, not even close.
Okay.
And then, little by little, like, we started talking about it, and then we did more shows that went well. And we're like, dude, what if we quit? Like, let's just think about it, you know? And then in September 2017, I spoke to my girlfriend at the time. Well, now my wife, same person, if you're hearing. And I was like, would you be on board if I did this? And I really needed her support, and I wanted my parents' support. But I was so scared of my dad. My dad was the only person that could talk me away from it, you know? Yeah. And he had helped me so much get to that point. He was so proud of me that I was super scared. So I told my dad, like, maybe the week that I quit. So in September, I made the plan to quit.
Yep.
But nobody knew, only my girlfriend.
Okay.
And my business partner. And he's like, let's quit in January, February. I'm like, no, man. I gotta meet the requirement for my permanent residence days so that I can apply to my citizenship.
Okay.
And that was April 4th, 2017.
April 4th, 2000. Okay.
So that was my last day at the bank. So I told them 2 months in advance, it's February 2017, that I would quit. They couldn't believe it. But they had all been to my show, so they were like, all right, at least he's not going. It's cool that you're pursuing your dreams. Nope, I don't think anyone thought it was going to work, you know. But
nobody does.
They thought I was insane.
Think about what's happening right now.
And then, so April 4th, 2017, I quit, or my last day. April 5th, I applied to my citizenship. And April 6th, me and Juan went on a 3-week tour to Miami, Costa Rica, and Colombia. But I couldn't even believe... I knew what I was doing, but now looking back, I'm like, wow, I had balls.
Hell yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's called following your dream. Yeah. You found what you loved, and then you're like, I'm going to just ride with what I love.
Yeah.
And now you're enjoying every single day.
Every single day, man.
This is amazing to hear.
And for my parents, it was a big surprise, but my big brother, Kurt, he's 41, and 10 years ago, I think, in 2008, he used to work for Procter & Gamble, and he had been sent to England. He was doing really well, to Cincinnati, and he's like, I don't even like this. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't picture me doing this for another day. He hated his job. It's not that I hated my job, but I wanted to do... Every time I did well, I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but that's not my passion, you know? Yeah. So my brother quit his job as well to be a musician in Costa Rica, and he's doing super well.
It's amazing.
So then it was like the golden boy. Then my second brother is a mechanic and he studied that. He's been doing that, and then it was me, and I had been the golden boy of the three brothers. I have two other sisters.
Yeah.
One of here is present, and so I'd been the golden boy. So it was kind of a surprise, but it was good that my brother had quit before me.
Yeah.
So it was a surprise that I had done it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a surprise because another brother had done it.
Yeah, so it made it a little easier for you. He kind of paved the way, got it started.
And they never thought I'd do it. Because they've never really seen me perform, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I've been living by myself since I'm 15 in Canada. So this whole artistic journey, my mother's an artist too. She's a painter. And they never really saw the development. But now they have seen me perform and they're like, oh, okay, now we'll see what it's all about.
Okay.
You know?
Sick.
And the fact that I had worked at the bank and done university and done how it's supposed to go in a way gave me enough experience to be a good businessman, because you don't have to, you can't just be good on stage.
Yeah.
You need to believe in yourself. You need to charge adequately. You need to know what other people are. You need to be able to stare in people's eyes and be like, this is what I charge.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like it, then don't hire me.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really understood the business side of it, but it's huge.
Yeah.
Probably like 1% of the time I'm on stage, less than 1% of the time. And I need to back it up just like everything. But networking is huge. Business is huge. Marketing, the graphic design. There's so many aspects of it that I never really saw, but just having worked at the bank for 7 years really helped me out.
That's amazing, man. Yo, your story is incredible. Hella inspiring. I loved hearing it. I think you forgot to tell them about like this week. So this week,
oh yeah,
Stephan has had a crazy week. I saw you just got your civil wedding. You had it on Saturday. You just became a Canadian citizen. So the whole time you're talking about your citizenship, now you're a Canadian citizen.
Yes.
Welcome to Canada.
Thank you.
He's out here. Okay, so your story is incredible, but now, so you find out about Continual Growth, the 21s board. I remember we talked probably, I think it was like half a year ago.
Yeah.
And you had seen one of our ads, one of our videos, and it was where there's two people waking up at 6 a.m. and just showing what happens with good habits and with bad habits. And I remember you were talking and you're like, so I was mad inspired when I saw that for the whole entire week. I was waking up at 6 a.m., but then I fell off.
100%.
Right? And that was 6 months ago. But now, the last time I talked to you, you're telling me how you're waking up at 5:30 every single day. You have a crazy morning routine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I swear, just 6 months ago, you were telling me how, like, this is crazy and you weren't able to do it then.
I think we were still in my old apartment. So, yeah, you're right. It was 6 months. Maybe February, March. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
And that video inspired me because I don't know. I need to watch it again to tell you specifically, but I'm like, these guys are waking up, and I remember you guys saying the alarm clock should be far away, drink water, you don't need to, like, run from the bed, you can just sit down and slowly wake up. And I'm like, maybe these little details are the ones that make the big difference. Mm-hmm. So I got my girlfriend to wake up with me. She never goes to the gym because she doesn't like it, but she's seen the benefits. Mm-hmm. Also, listening from you guys, I learned that because for my whole life, I'm like, I don't want to be like this big guy, you know? Why go to the gym?
Yeah.
But hearing you guys say that, it actually expands your life expectancy and makes you healthy apart from all the other benefits, daily benefits.
Yes.
So I saw that, did it, then fell off. And then I heard from Continual Growth, I got my 21s board from Carlito. And little by little, I've been changing. It's been so gradual that I haven't really understood when the click was. Yeah. But the click is always just starting. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the click. Or like you said the other day on the phone, making the decision to do something. You know? And now there's been, apart from Continual Growth, there's been two other things that or one that have changed my life, I would say. The Miracle Morning book, which touches upon everything that you guys do. Yeah. It's just I've been using both theories, which end up to the same. It's basically going little by little, using scientifically proven habits that improve your life. Mm-hmm. The good thing about this is that there's no debate, that they just do improve your life.
Yeah.
And the Miracle Morning, and you guys talk about these things and the science behind it. Because that helps me a lot, because I don't need to debate with myself. I'm like, is this going to help me?
Yeah, you already know.
It helps me.
Yeah.
The good thing about my case is that I had already done a few things by myself before. Mm-hmm. And my first step, thanks to my brother's recommendation, the musician, is meditating. So when I was going to quit in 2017, early 2017, I took a course here for transcendental meditation. Mm-hmm. And because my brother had taken it, and he said that it significantly reduced his anxiety.
Yep.
And I read about it, saw other celebrities that were doing it, like Jerry Seinfeld, people that I really look up to. Mm-hmm. And it increases your creativity, it reduces anxiety, and it just makes you be more in the present and more gratitude.
Yes.
So that I really wanted to do.
Okay, so what did you think about meditation before you started?
I'm like, that thing is for losers, man. Why do I need that? I'm not a monk in Tibet, you know? I don't need that shit. And I'm like, cool. You'll be there silent.
Yeah, and I think that's what like a lot of people think that. Like even me before I started, I'm like, why the hell would I meditate? What's that gonna do for me?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm wasting 20 minutes of my life just laying there, and I'm like, first of all, I'm not gonna be able to just sit there, because I just thought that the only difference between me sitting there and meditation was closing my eyes.
Yeah.
And then the first time that I did it in the course that I took, I had never felt like I've never had marijuana, but maybe I'm like, that's what high feels like. Or it was a trip, man. And I'm like, wow, I'm so rested. Now when I'm feeling grumpy, I'm like, it's because I haven't meditated. Mm-hmm. And that's one of my things that I don't miss in my morning routine. That's my first one that I do. Well, I drink water and then I sit in my meditation chair.
Yeah.
So I do that every morning for 20 minutes, the meditation.
Okay.
And then the continual growth definition or word. What is it? The bundle up? What was it?
Stacking.
The stacking. So I bring my notebook, my journal, to next to my meditation chair. Mm-hmm. And I also leave the book that I'm reading right next to it too.
Okay, so you set yourself up for success.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know what stacking is, it's basically making it so you don't get distracted when you're going from one habit to the next habit, because that's just how life is. It's really easy for you to get distracted.
Oh, and another one that Carlito taught me or shared, you guys probably do it as well, is I don't touch my cell phone until I'm done. After 9 a.m. or 8 a.m.
That's amazing.
Because my mind just goes to a whole nother place, more stressful place.
Yeah.
Even if I'm reading cool stuff, people that have sent me stuff while I'm sleeping on Instagram or chatting or at WhatsApp, it just stresses me out. Mm-hmm. But I'm so calm seeing the sunrise, or the light coming in.
It's nice to be up. It's nice to be up when you wake up when it's dark and you get to see that the sunrise. And you're like,
that's my favorite part of the day.
I'm doing what I want to do. I'm doing what I said I'm gonna do.
And in complete calm, no rush, because you've made up this time. It came from nowhere.
Yes.
And so I'll wake up. My alarm clock is on the other kind of like 6 feet away, and then I'll go and put some... I've been doing it, to be completely honest, like 4 or 5 times a week, so I need to continue to improve. But so I'll get a glass of water, put half a lime in it.
Yep.
And then I'll get my notebook and my book. They're already there because I leave them there all the time. Then I go to my meditation chair, but my girlfriend puts the air conditioning so it's cold, and that kind of distracts me from the meditation, so I get a blanket that it's so good.
Okay.
And then I meditate, then journal. And the Miracle Morning says that you're supposed to do... So what they recommend is the savers. So SAVERS.
Mm-hmm.
So it's silence or prayer or meditation.
Okay.
Then the A is affirmations. Then V is visualizations. E, exercise. R, reading. And S, scribing or journaling. But I bundle them up because in my notebook, what I do is I write 3 things that I'm grateful for that day.
Okay.
And more often than not, it's just waking up early. I'm so grateful for waking up early that whenever I wake up early, that's my number one.
So, okay, before you started, how did you used to have a lot of trouble waking up early?
And never in my life I woke up early, ever.
This is amazing.
And the only time I woke up early was to go to Toastmasters on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
For the last 6 years.
Were you like someone who did you have like a whole bunch of alarms and you just be like, turn off, turn
100%.
off? Or were you like snooze kind of guy?
No, I turn it off, but I had like 3 or 4 alarms in a row.
Okay.
And the one thing that is kind of weird, but I never put my alarm clock on ending on a 0 or a 5.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would never be 6 o'clock or 7 or 8. It'd be like 8:03 because I just wanted to get those extra minutes, you know?
Yeah.
But now I'm like 5:45 on the dot,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And so I do the gratitude on my notebook, and then I do 3 affirmations, and then I do 3 ideas that I have for that day.
Yeah.
And that'll take me 10 minutes maybe. And then what I heard from Carlito and you guys, the GSD, the Get Shit Done.
Yeah.
That's helped me significantly.
The ultimate procrastination killer.
Yeah. 3 things, because I love to check off things, you know, cross out things.
It feels good.
It feels good. So that's been helping me. I've been doing it for the last week.
Sick.
And then I can focus and feel like I've accomplished, because it's very good to feel fulfillment. Because then, you did a bunch of things, but you can't really document them.
Yeah.
That's why the 21s is so great.
Amazing. All right, so you're doing all these different habits. You're killing your morning. How would you say your morning / your life has changed since when you started doing these compared to how it is now?
It's changed significantly. I can't even put it into words. My life significantly improved over the last 1.5 years since I started meditating.
Mm-hmm.
I used to feel like I was in a perpetual nostalgic mode.
Yeah.
Like every time I looked at the Facebook memories or anything in the past, I'm like, fuck, my life used to be so much better. Yeah. Or I'm not with those people anymore. Or I used to be more fit. Or I used to do more sports. Or I had this more potential, you know?
Yeah.
So that helped me. But now with waking up early, it's just I'm doing things for me that I never did before.
That's amazing. And
so it's the self-development. From 5:45 till 9, maybe till 7:30 that my girlfriend wakes up. My wife wakes up.
Yeah.
So for those 2 hours, I'm working on me. And I never thought I would read every day. I would journal, meditate. I had been doing it. And let alone the exercise I'm battling with. But now that you told me do 1 time a week for a month and then go up.
Just start slow, man. You'll get there.
Yeah, it's helped me. Well, now my sister is here. She's very disciplined, so I'm going more. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I'm on top because we do Mondays. Never miss a Monday workout.
Shout out to Carlito.
Yeah, and it's been helping me significantly. But I've never worked that much on myself in my life since I've started waking up early.
Sick. Okay, so how important are all of these habits, all these things that you're doing in the morning, throughout the day, how important do you feel that they are to you?
I wanna for the rest of my life, my goal is to eventually wake up at 4, you know, or 4:30 or 5. I don't wake up early.
I don't know if you want to do 4. I used to do 4 and it's too early. Well, it's everybody has their different choices.
What do you do now?
I felt 4 was too early. Now I wake up at 4:44. So one of the things I do is 30 minutes of thinking. So I crossed out the thinking. I'm like, I'll just do that later in the day and I can wake up later. But then I actually ended up making everything faster. So now I've learned how to put the 30 minutes still in the morning time.
Oh, that's pretty good. So the days I don't wake up early are the days where the night before I had shows. So I'll have gone to bed really late, like at 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Because I work at nights. So
do you feel tired sometimes when you get to work because you're working late? Because I get tired. Once it's like 8, I start getting tired.
Yeah, but once I'm in the zone, I could...
Yeah, like it's showtime.
Oh, yeah. I'm doing something I love, so I don't care. But it's been going really well, and I enjoy thoroughly waking up early. Definitely the best... One of the best things that has happened in my life was the Miracle Morning book, because it teaches you to wake up for stuff that you care about. Like, I would never wake up early, go to my work, which I did, but because I had to, not because I wanted to.
Yep.
So when I worked at the bank, yeah, sometimes I would get there before, but because I had to meet other people's expectations and not fuck up, or meet a deadline, and I do that sometimes, but now it's for me.
Yes, making time for you.
So it's huge.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
All right, Stephan. Your story is amazing. I've been loving it. I hope all the people are loving it. So, if you could give one tip to help someone improve their life, what would it be?
Start. It would just be start. And probably it would be a three-part tip. Buy a 21s board.
Hey.
And then buy the Miracle Morning book. Take 1 month to read it. Go at your pace. And then they take 1 month to do the 30-day challenge. Because it takes 1 month to do the 30-day challenge. And then I would say take a week break, but by that time you're going to be a machine. Not a full blast machine. And then after that,
okay, hold on. So you go back to you're going to become a machine. So some people aren't going to really understand that. But what made you feel like you're becoming a machine?
The machine concept is basically once you see how much you've advanced your life in a short period of time by waking up early and having small habits that make you own your life and really improve time for yourself, you're never going back to the shitty life.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes.
Because it's such a mediocre life, Yeah. And sometimes it's tough to believe it because you're like, fuck this, man. I work where I don't want to work. And the free time that I have, I want to use it to drink or be with my friends or watch Netflix. And that's totally understandable.
Yep.
And if you hate your life, it's even more understandable that you're fucking not waking up early because you want to sleep, man. That's the only time you're not doing shit you don't like,
Exactly.
So I understand, but then you start doing little things that start to get you closer to your dreams, and you start believing that it can be possible.
Yes.
So then there's no fucking going back.
It's from those wins, man. You're getting small wins.
Every
time you get a small win, that builds your confidence. The more confidence you get, the stronger you feel, and that's when you get into that's when you're beast mode. You feel like a machine. You could do anything.
Yeah, and so the 21s board is good because you're gonna fail, and that's fucking okay.
Failure is the best teacher,
and that's okay. And then start small goals, like 5 minutes of something. And because I started with 20 minutes of writing comedy, and I'm like, yeah, because I should be doing that every day. But I did it, but I didn't do it after the 21s.
Yeah.
But you need to start small because the consistency over everything aspect is what really builds the machine. So get that book, do the 30-day challenge. On the side, do the 21s because you can do that all the time. And I guarantee you're never going back to a mediocre life. You might think you don't have a mediocre life, but you have a mediocre life.
Like you can do better. Everyone can do better.
And just knowing that you can do better doesn't mean you're mediocre. It's knowing that there's a life waiting out for you and you're doing nothing about it. So do that, and then when you've done that, buy the next book, which I'm reading right now. It's a journal/book by the legend Darren Hardy called Living Your Best Year Ever. And in a year, Bwanka's going to invite me to this podcast again, and watch me, man. I'm going to be fucking out of this world.
Hey. Okay, yo, we can't wait to have you back on. Can't wait to see how you're gonna keep on continually keep growing. So now, for the people who don't know you, tell us where to find you.
So at Stephan Dyer on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere.
Can you spell it?
StephanDyer. Stephan Dyer Comedy.
Okay. You want to touch real quick on some of the things you do in your courses?
Yeah. So in my public speaking through comedy courses, it's pretty much helping people overcome the fear of public speaking. And I know Bwanka has worked really hard on this. And I didn't know how much you worked on it, man. I really admire you.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
And I know, not because I've seen you, but because I know from other people that even on surveys, this is like the number one fear in the world. Like even it's number one, and I think number two is dying. You know, people hate speaking in public, and so what we do is overcoming that fear, giving you tips on how to control nervousness, giving you tips and techniques on stage, giving you tips and techniques so you can create material. But the most important thing is so you can do all these things while you're being yourself 100%. Because everyone wants to be Jim Carrey, everyone wants to be Eddie Murphy, but we're not them. So everyone can be a great, eloquent, strong public speaker and leader being yourself. Everyone thinks, no, man, I'm shy. I can't speak in public. Nobody wants to hear me. But you can still be eloquent and captivating while being yourself. So that's the most important thing that we teach. And using your weaknesses or things that you've perceived as weaknesses as opportunities so that you can use them in everywhere, in a professional scenario, social scenario, anywhere. So we're building leaders through public speaking, and because we're comedians, we teach you how to make people laugh through breaking the ice and being yourself with your own life. So if you're interested, we do them in Spanish, but now we've started to do them in English. At the end of the 6-week course, there's a graduation night, and you feel like a superstar. That's the thing that gets people scared, and they're like, they won't do it because of the graduation night. Yeah. But don't worry about that.
You'll be ready, right?
You'll be 100% ready.
I know you even told us a little bit about it. You got some great exercises that you do. I know you're telling me about you make people take selfies with a random person.
That's a level 2 and 3. So the level 2 and 3, just to overcome that fear of rejection, we make people go out to the streets of Toronto and take selfies and videos with random strangers.
And I think it's a great way to help build your confidence, help you grow, and the most important thing, getting out of your comfort zone. The more you get out of your comfort zone, the more you're gonna grow. That's how you're gonna start living your best life.
And we do exercises on how to understand how people perceive you, because you gotta understand self-awareness.
Hey,
you know what I'm talking about?
Self-awareness is a must.
Yeah, consistency over everything. So basically, failure is a part of life, and we teach you how to fail, but with a smile on your face, and still growing as a human being out of your comfort zone.
Amazing. Okay, so I hope everybody liked it. I hope everybody learned a little something from Stephan. I'm going to be taking one of your courses soon. I think everybody should take one of your courses because, that's how you're going to grow. Let someone help you grow. All right, so anybody that's listening to this, everybody that's listening to this, we always ask one thing. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. That's how we grow. We want everybody to grow together. Next thing you got to do, if you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast. It's going to help us grow, okay? Follow us on IG. Follow Stephan on IG. And if you have any questions, concerns, comments, whatever it is, just slide in the DM. Hit us up. We're going to answer it on the podcast, or we'll answer it directly. And you know how we always finish it. Kill every day and own your fucking life. Bless up.